The College House system, for a quarter century, has combined Penn's unparalleled academic experience with our historic commitment to living and learning on campus. The college houses are inspired by the idea that students learn best not just in, but also beyond the classroom. They are dynamic communities that encourage conversation, nurture personal and intellectual growth, celebrate differences, and foster lifelong friendships. More than 40 Penn faculty members join 6,000 undergraduates in our 13 college houses, along with hundreds of staff members and residential student advisors. Each college house offers robust academic programming and partnerships, special fellowships, and a supportive living environment.
Penn faculty started experimental communities in the 1970s, like Van Pelt College House, whose 4 faculty members chose to live with a cohort of students, sharing common meals and creating new ways for students and faculty to interact outside the classroom. W.E.B. Du Bois College House echoed this format when it created its residential locus for Black and Africana studies and culture 50 years ago.
25 years ago, in 1998, Penn took what it learned from these experiences and decided to offer them to every undergraduate with the 21st Century College Houses project.
CHAS has this really important mission: create these dynamic living learning opportunities for students for at least 2 years, if not longer. Some of our focus is spaces where students can see who they are and even challenge who they are, as well as seeing who they are with different identities, maybe as a student, as a scholar, as leaders. We give a lot of opportunities for leadership in our spaces. They also get to see who they are around other people, which I think is really, really cool.
The mission is pretty simple, isn't it? You know, really what I think we're looking to do is make Penn feel manageable, make the big feel small. We're looking to give our students the opportunity to grow as human beings, to self-actualize. And we're also providing opportunities for them to bring their intellectual life, to bring the intellectual skills that they've been learning on campus into their everyday.
One of the superpowers of the college houses is the people that we have working in there, just dynamic, really passionate people that want to do good work and serve our students.
We have faculty that live in college houses with them, that they can knock on a faculty's door and say, hey, I have a paper that's due tomorrow. Can you review it with me? Having those, what we call organic experiences, those moments of time to be able to engage with a faculty member that's not inside the classroom.
What I've always appreciated about faculty and residents, I think it always is just so fascinating to students. They can't quite believe they're there. It's like, they actually live here. Yes, they actually live their lives right next door to you.
The Radiant has a particularly strong faculty community, so our faculty director, Carol, like every Sunday or so, like she'll bake cookies, she'll bake muffins, she'll invite the entire Radiant to come over to her apartment and just to like chat, have tea, etc.
And then seeing those faculty members with their families, with their animals, walking around in the building, going to participate in programs, and just being able to have that type of casual relationship that builds into a deeper relationship. I think it's the most amazing experience to have it as a student, to be able to have that relationship with a faculty outside the classroom.
I came to Penn in 1990 and interacted with students in class, and my impression from those interactions was that, gee, students today are really different than they were when I was an undergraduate. And then in 2000 we moved into Ware College House, and I got to know the students in a completely different setting, in social settings. And my reaction to that was, gee, college students are exactly the same as they were when I was in college. And I appreciate that. I've learned from it. And it also, I think it helps me in teaching as well.
One of the things that we often say is that the learning never stops. But that doesn't mean that the learning has to have a capital L. It doesn't mean that it needs to be separated out from all the other parts of our life. You know, as we're sitting down together and eating, as we're sitting in our courtyard or patting our family pet as a community, we are still learning. We're still communicating in intellectually robust ways. We're intermeshing our everyday existence and our critical faculty. And I think that's one of the most wonderful things about how the College House system works.
So the House Director role is a professional student development person who lives in, and their responsibility is really to think about the programmatic and administrative vision for this specific house. And each house has kind of its own identity, and the House Director helps to shape that.
I always like to tell, friends and colleagues from afar and outside of the Penn system that I have 500 plus roommates, kind of, sort of, right? Hall mates. There's always an adventure. You're wearing a million hats because you've got students from all over the place, coming from different spaces, different places, and you have to meet them where they are. So when I think about how I guide the work, how I guide the house, it's understanding that yes, there are some umbrella things that I need to do and my team needs to do for all the students, but then we also have to craft and cater to their individual needs as we get to know them. So to me, the heavy lifting is figuring out the balance of the both and of getting to know them, but also shaping who we are as a community.
It's really fun working with the RA team at Harnwell. We have 24 RAs, so large group. And it's really exciting because they're all working on different things. Each floor has its own personality based on the RA, based on the residents that live on that floor.
Yeah, the RAs are really a crucial part of our system. They're a peer mentor. They serve as that one person that a student can always go to and talk about, hey, I don't know where to go for this academic stress I'm having, or I'm taking a test tomorrow, and I just don't know how to put my thoughts together, or I'm feeling really homesick. What do I do? So that RA serves as that connection, someone who can listen to them, who can provide them the campus resources, and actually be able to advocate for them as well.
They're super, super helpful and communicative, and definitely creating a nice community for our floor. I've definitely had numerous times where I'd have to text the RA because I got locked out of my room, or, something's not working well in my room, and they're so, so helpful in just guiding me to where it is or helping me if they can.
During my first semester in Fisher, I had a really good RA, and it was kind of a tough transition period for me, just because as a student living away from home for the first time, not having this experience, it felt very exciting to live away from home, but it also felt like I felt a little lost.
You're like, okay, I can be the one that shows up and I can help them out of that situation, or someone's not having a great day, or maybe it wasn't a good week or a good month, and you can talk to them, and I think that's a really cool thing. I think that's the best part about being an RA, for sure.
What I understand about students and freshmen and 18-year-olds, if that RA is perceived to be more of a peer, then that's a different kind of trust that they may not have with me because I'm the grown-up, right? And I love that, so that we can kind of capture who they are as students on different levels and different levels of trust. And then we bring it back together as a team.
Our house coordinators are administrators that we have one in each college house. And really, they are there to support pretty much everything and everybody. They, in some of the buildings, are really the hub of the house.
I work closely with the house director at Harnwell. Our house director is wonderful and creates a lot of excellent programming. She works closely with the RA team, and so I get to support her in her work.
The people are really our superpower, and talking about the house directors, house coordinators, our RAs that are on every floor, live-in faculty, etc. But that's just the start of it. The students really make the community go. Once they start to engage in programs that we have, whether it's social, of just, popping in and getting a mug of hot chocolate, to coming and sitting in an academic lecture, those things are going to connect with other people. And once you start to do that, you get your own network.
I really like in Harnwell that we tie into the greater Philadelphia community. And so I hope that when residents leave, they take that knowledge that we've given to them and they run with it. And they are empowered to be a community member wherever they go because they've already experienced that in Harnwell.
There's a range of what kind of programs happen in each college house. Some of them are academic. For example, one of the things that we do in the college houses is what we call our Research Fellows program. That program selects researchers from each college house, sometimes two, that are doing original research, and they come together as a cohort. They talk about their research. We meet with faculty from across the campus and our college house faculty to talk about what it is to be a researcher and what those steps are.
You can learn what's really exciting for you, and that may not be something that exists elsewhere in a formal structure. I've learned a lot about the magisterial district judicial system in Pennsylvania, and there's just such a gap in the literature that it's the only way I could have studied it. And then the people around me were studying stuff that I'd never heard of before, and that's so cool.
Another programmatic piece that we have is our program communities. For example, in our first year houses, we have such program communities as Women in Computer Science or Women in Leadership.
Being part of a program community, you have like-minded individuals who are living with you, and you can do programming and you can discuss things with each other, late night
So I think my advice to somebody coming in new as a first-year student into the college houses is to get connected to anybody and everybody.
A chance moment where a nursing student and an engineering student and a kid from the arts and sciences encounter an engineer and something weird but wonderful happens just because they're living together. That's where the magic happens.
Penn is a large institution. At times, it could feel like overwhelming for a student or an individual. The college houses is a place where each person belongs and can find their place. And that's why we provide these spaces for these students. And so we want to have your student be part of our community so that they can find their place at Penn.
You're brilliant, right? Bring us your ideas, bring us your energy, because we want you to be a participant in this community. Come to the table with your voice. We need your voice.
To be able to have that type of experience where you feel 360-degree support when there's a lot of stress happening through the academics or personal, to be able to have a space where they can feel at home and be themselves, that's what the college houses are about.
College houses, congratulations on this milestone anniversary. We can't wait to see what the next 25 years have in store.